Is your life chaotic? Do you feel like no matter what you do, your basic stuff is not done? Like your bills are not paid on time, you don't have groceries in your kitchen, you just wait until the last minute and everything is just messed up in your house and your life all together, and you ask yourself what to do to finally change it? Then you're at the right place. Hi guys, this is Wences. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about personal development and creating a life on your terms. And today we're going to talk about how to organize your life. And it's more of a holistic view, like really things that you have to do in order to become a person who is tidied up, who is organized, who has a life that you feel like is in order. So here are the 5 steps to take in order to get there. Step number 1, set standards for yourself. If you tell yourself, well, there's no reason for me to make my bed because nobody besides me is going to see my bed, then you're not setting a high standard for yourself. If you say like, why does it matter if I pay my bills right when they arrive, when I can pay them in the last moment, then you're not setting a high standard for yourself. See, we do those things not because they need to be done. We do those things because they help us to become a person who is more organized, who is more structured. Because there's so many things happening in our life. Every day we make so many tiny decisions. And if we don't teach ourselves to like do these things automatically, then things are gonna fall off. You're gonna have a messy house, you're gonna have messy cupboards, you're gonna have a messy life, messy kitchen, and you're gonna forget your bills more often, and it just keeps on going. So there is not just one thing you can say, well, I'm doing everything right, so who cares about if my bed is made up? That is all connected. Those are habits you do, those are standards you set for yourself. And remember, it's not the goal so much to say I need to have like a made up bed when I come home in the evening. It's to become a person who is in charge of their own life. Step number 2, make it a standard to take care of everything right away. So in my house, I never tidy up ever because there's nothing to tidy up. When I eat something, I directly afterwards bring it into the kitchen. When I open the cupboard to get a plate, I close it. Like there are people out there, and maybe you're even one of them, who just like leaves those cupboards open, who leaves doors open. Some women do their makeup in the morning and leave everything out. See, those things are signs of a bigger problem because it's not just concerning this. If you do this in one area of your life, you're gonna do it everywhere. So I've made it a point, as I said, to tidy up right away when I have something, like seriously. So if you're struggling with this, you don't know how great of a feeling it is to never ever have to tidy up. I never tidy up. I seriously never. There's not one day where I feel, oh, I need to tidy up now. Because I do it right away. I've set a standard for myself. And from that point on, things just got done. So it might feel like, yes, you have to mobilize yourself in the beginning. Yes, you actually do. You have to actually say to yourself, I have to become a person who always does these things. And this might feel uncomfortable in the beginning. But the pain that'll cost to kind of like start that process is so much smaller than the pain you can just throw away of coming back home and seeing that you didn't tidy up, that something's not done right, that your bills are unpaid, and so on. So make it a point to do them right away. If you have bills coming in, I come in the door. I have the bill in my hand. And the first thing I do after I take off my coat is to like sit down and pay that bill, or I do it, let's say, in the next 30 minutes. There's not one thing I ever have to worry about that is not being done because I've set a standard to really keep that up. And that makes life so much easier. Step number 3, make appointments for the next time. If you know that you have to go to the dentist every 3 months, for example, or you go and get a haircut every 2 months, once you're there, you make an appointment for next time. Once you know you have to do things another time that is coming up, just do it right away and put it in your schedule. Having a schedule can be such a huge relief because every time you put something in your schedule, it's not in your mind anymore. Your mind is free to worry about other things. I also have bills that are due, let's say, in 3 or 4 weeks. I don't just let them lay there, but I don't want to pay them now either because that's an interest loss of those 3-4 weeks that I would be paying the money now. So I just schedule them. I schedule it to be transferred in 4 weeks. I schedule things in such a way that they're off my mind. There is no to-do list in that. Every time I have something like this, even if I meet a friend and I know, oh, it's kind of difficult for me to keep in touch with that friend, but that's so important to me because in the long run, I always benefit from the different social interactions, then I tell myself, okay, we met this week, so let's meet in 3 weeks, and I have it in my calendar, so when that week comes up, I call up that friend and we make something happen. Number 4. Plan out your week. See, a lot of people do even monthly plans. That's a little bit too much for me. I've tried it, and I do have monthly plans most of the time, but they're very vague. Like, I can still be flexible in that. But I definitely have schedules for the week, because if you don't have a schedule, you really never move the needle. You just do what's necessary, and you fall back into this pattern of doing things that are urgent but not important. See, I had a video on this if you want to look into it a little bit more specifically, but just shortly said, what is important but not urgent is, for example, for you to study when you want to take a test in order to move on in your career. What is urgent and not important is for you to do laundry. It has to be done, I get it, but it's still not as important. So if you make it a point to first study those 3 hours, your wash is still gonna get done. But if you start with your wash, if you start doing that, then chances are you're never gonna go with the things that are actually important, because they're not urgent. The things that are not urgent but important, we have to prioritize them. And the best way to do that is through a schedule. So you know each week, each day, what do I have to do today in order to move forward? It can be a small step, but every little step brings you a step further, and it really gets you to a new level you've never been at. Step number 5. Plan for alone time. So a lot of us live in situations where we are with our partner, our kids, our husbands, our parents even. And in these situations, we have that emotional atmosphere of others having an impact on us. It can be very positive. To be with people is a beautiful thing. But if you really need structure in your life, you have to make sure that you have alone time in which you can calm down and really structure yourself. Because if all of this is going on, if you have people around here living their life and it's all that evident, it will have an effect on you. So I was visiting my father now for 10 days, and I was staying with him, and it was such a great time, but I see the difference. I could not work as much as I can work at home. It just doesn't work. He has his things going on. We go to our villa, then we take care of the old tomatoes, then we do like whatever it is, then we have to go see my grandma. Like, all of those things are happening, and they're happening while you're living with another person or while you're being with another person for a longer time. And in order to actually prioritize your own life, you have to make that alone time important. You have to make it a priority. So you have to say at least 2 hours a day are just for me. This is, of course, optimal. Like, I personally always make it a point, no matter who I see in the evening, even if I live with somebody, that I have that time for myself, because that's when I can get most of my stuff done. This is where I'm clear-headed and know what is important to me and what isn't. Because trust me, that emotional atmosphere that is created by other people will always have an effect on you and will keep you from having that structure. So really find a balance. Don't neglect that. You'll always want to spend time with other people, but make sure you have that time for yourself as well. As I said, optimally 2 hours, but we all know that's not always possible. But start small. If there's no time in your schedule that is just for you, start with like half an hour a day and just say, in these 30 minutes, no matter what, I'm gonna take that time for me. I'm not gonna help anybody. I'm not gonna be there for anybody. This is just for me. I'm gonna be there for me, and I'm gonna take care of those things so I feel my life is organized and there's no chaos in it whatsoever. Because having this calmness, having a lack of chaos in your life, it just gives you such a calm relief. It is such a security blanket that everything you do after that, you can do with so much more energy, with so much more strength, with so much more determination, because your thoughts are not focused on helping you survive a chaotic life. Let me know in the comments what you're struggling with when it comes to bringing order in your life. Maybe we can do a follow-up video on that. I'm always curious about those kind of videos. So just let me know and we can talk about it. And if you want me to help you to get organized in your life specifically, check out the link in the description for one-on-one coaching. I wish you a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.